Hi, I'm Jodie Evans, and this is my She Story. In 1970, I was organized to march for a living wage. I was making $1.87 an hour as a maid, and we won. Jane Fonda marched with us, and to this day, maids make living wage, some of them $70,000 a year, and many can buy their own homes. It set me on the path of a life of activism and taking on the man. In 1992, after running Jerry Brown's presidential campaign, I was working in Watts with gang members, and one night they gathered together, and I was, all men are the same. But I learned that night that all men weren't the same, that every one of these gang members' fathers had been in the Vietnam War. And this is at a time when 20,000 people had died in Watts. 20,000 in 20 years. That was a war in our own city that nobody would talk about. You'd hear about Ireland, you'd hear about Palestine. This was more people that died in both combined. So when Bush started talking about a preemptive strike on an innocent country, Iraq, it sounded very much like what happens in Watts, where there's a black man with a gun, so you shoot him first because he might shoot you. And when they were talking about weapons of mass destruction and preemptive war, I could only take myself to Washington and take my primal scream of no out front of the White House, where I was doing with my friend Medea Benjamin, and we sat for 6 months in vigil every day, except for the 10 days we went to Iraq before the invasion. And Code Pink has continued from that day. It was Code Red, Code Orange, and Code Yellow frightening the American people into this war, so we called Code Pink for peace. We've been working for 14 years to end war. And last year, as I looked at it, I went, it's not really war, because war is serving a war economy quite well. And we need to look at the war economy. I looked out, and there was global climate change, global inequality, and $1.4 trillion worth of weapons sold, and I wanted to close down, get under the covers, and never get out again. Yet, if you think of it as a flood, every culture has a flood myth. You build an ark. And as soon as the idea came of building an ark and that it was a flood, all I want to do is like, what's the ark? How do we build it? And I learned that there was a local peace economy. It exists. It's the giving, sharing, caring, thriving, resilient, relational economy without which none of us would be alive. Yet there's this war economy that's killing the planet and people. And guess what we invest most of our time, energy, and money in? The war economy. And so at Code Pink, our mission statement is to end war, bring the money home to the life-enriching needs of our community. Well, what if we turn that mission statement upside down and said, invest ourselves in the life-giving needs of our community to bring the money home to end war? So that's what we're spending half of our time on. And I knew nothing about a war economy, or this all was, kind of came through the ethers. And so I've been on a year's exploration of what is the peace economy, what is the war economy, how do we divest ourselves? And I've learned a few things. One is there's many she stories. The local peace economy is the feminine economy, but it's all we stories, that nothing happens without us together, that to change this, it's going to take all of us. And that it really takes us creating that local peace economy by connecting to each other, by remembering that we all are connected, and that the war economy thrives on us being alienated from each other. And that we're driven to greed by thinking that we live in scarcity when we live in abundance. We live on a planet with air and water and soil to nourish ourselves, but the war economy thrives on us thinking that there's scarcity. It's one of the things I've really seen happen out of the last year, is that when people say that they remember that there's abundance, that helps them divest even quicker. Also, that when we enter the giving economy, we find out that there is a field of generosity. So many people have said, oh my God, as soon as I started giving, generosity started happening all around me. And I noticed how many gifts there were. So the other thing that the war economy does is distract us from what really enriches life. So I challenge you to get to know your neighbors, find 8 people, see them every month, pick a time that when you get together and you reflect on what's happening in that moment, you become smarter and you come up with ways to engage with it. At Code Pink, when a terrorist attack happened in one of the cities nearby, they got together and said, okay, what do we do about Islamophobia? And what they did was create pop-up for peace opportunities in restaurants by inviting Muslims and getting to know them. And so that when Trump's inauguration happened, they were already ahead of the game. They were already connected and already coming up with solutions. So find 8 people, get to know them, you'll grow, and you'll find out what you can do in your community. Because the intelligence that is around you is where you need to be plugged in, not in the media, not in the insanity that's coming out of Washington, but what can you actually do locally? And it helps you be smarter about what's happening globally and nationally. It also grounds you, and it helps you to listen and know what's true and what's not true. It helps you be connected. You're growing connective tissue. And it's that connective tissue that no matter what's happening will take care of us, will give us the balance and the grounding and the presence that we need to address whatever happens. So I suggest you find your 8 people, you start to connect on what can be done locally, and in doing so, that just starts to divest your energy from the war economy. But you can also do it consciously, like making sure you're not in a national bank that's loaning money to destroy Standing Rock or steal our water or take down a forest. You can watch your time. Watch when you start feeling the anxiety of scarcity or disconnection and go, I'm in the wrong economy. I need to move over to be connected. There are people that are affected by the war economy probably worse than you. Why don't you find out who they are and be part of the just transition to a peace economy? Find out where you can serve, where you can be connected, where you can learn about what's actually happening to people in your own community. I promise you will be a happier person and you'll be more connected and your life will be more enriched, because it's the feminine economy. It's full of she stories and it's all about the we stories. So if you want to check in with Code Pink, that's codepink.org. You can find the local peace economy there, tools, and how to reach out to us and get connected and learn more. I hope you'll join us. And when you support SheStory, we have a poster that you can hang in your window and hang in windows of your community, so you can start the conversation about no ban, no walls, and no bombs. Thank you for supporting SheStory.